Like, I saw the breaking the neck. I didn't expect the jump scare, but I was already expecting to be, like, terrified by it. But I saw that coming. Show it to Monica. Hi again. How's the writing going? Alright, I guess. I'll take that. As long as it's not going bad, I'm happy that you're applying yourself. Maybe soon you'll come up with a masterpiece. Haha, I wouldn't count on that. You never know. Want to share what you wrote for today? Sure, here you go. I give my poem to Monica. Alright. Great job. I was going, ooh, in my head while reading it. It's really metaphorical. I'm not sure why, but I didn't expect you to go for something so deep. Did I write a deep poem? I don't remember. I guess I underestimated you. It's easiest for me to keep everyone's expectations low. That way it always counts when I put in some effort. Haha, that's not very fair. Well, I guess it worked anyway. You know that Yuri likes this kind of writing, right? Wait, what? There was like 2 or 3 words that I wrote specifically that, like, impress, quote unquote, Yuri. The rest of them were for Natsuki. Weird. Writing that's full of imagery and symbolism. Sometimes I feel like Yuri's mind is just totally detached from reality. I don't mean that like it's a bad thing though, but sometimes I get the impression that she's just totally given up on people. She spends so much time in her own head that it's probably a much more interesting place for her. But that's why she gets so happy when you treat her with a lot of kindness. I don't think she's used to being indoors like that. She must be really starved for social interaction, so I don't blame her for coming on a little strongly. Like earlier, I think if she gets too stimulated, she ends up withdrawing and looking for alone time. Suddenly, the door opens. Yuri! I'm back. Did I miss anything? Not really. Well, we all started sharing our poems with each other. Eh? Already? I'm sorry for being late. No need to apologize. We still have plenty of time, so I'm more glad that you took all the time you needed. Alright. Thanks, Monica. I suppose I should go get my poem now. But anyway, you want to read my poem now. I like the way this one turned out, so I hope you do too. Save me. The colors, they won't. Bright, beautiful colors. Flashing, expanding, piercing. Red, green, blue. An endless cacophony of meaningless noise. The noise, it won't stop. Violently grating waveforms. Squeaking, screeching, piercing, sine, cosine, tangent, like playing a chalkboard on a turntable, like playing a knife on a breathing ribcage. Endless. Delete her. Fascinating. Sorry, I know it's kind of abstract. I'm just trying to, well, never mind. There's no point in explaining. Anyway, here's Monica's running tip of the day. Sometimes you'll find yourself facing a difficult decision. When that happens, don't forget to save your game. Yeah. You never know when, Who am I talking to? Can you hear me? Tell me you can hear me. Anything? Please help me. That's my advice for today. Thanks for listening. Who should I show my poem to next? Please tell me it's not what I think it is. Like, please? Please tell me we're not at that point yet. I've been waiting for this. Let's see what you've written for today. Yuri smiles and takes a deep breath. I like just holding it. Huh? The poem turned out good. It's, well, there are some things that you could work on, but that doesn't really matter. It feels like anything written by you is a treasure. Haha. That came out a little awkward. Let's move on. Here's the poem I wrote. You don't have to like it or anything. Wheel. A rotating wheel turning an axle, grinding bolt head, linear gearbox, falling sky, 7 holy stakes, a docked ship, a postal to another world, a thin rope tied to a thick rope, a torn harness, parabolic gearbox, expanding universe, time controlled by slipping cogwheels, existence of God, swimming with open water in all directions, drowning, a prayer written in blood, a prayer written in time-devouring snakes with human eyes, a thread connecting all living human eyes, a kaleidoscope of holy stakes, exponential gearbox, a sky of exploding stars, God disproving the existence of God, a wheel rotating in 6 dimensions, 40 gears and a ticking clock, a clock that ticks 1 second for every rotation of the planet, a clock that ticks 40 times every time it ticks every second time, a boat head of holy stakes tied to the existence of a docked ship to another world, a kaleidoscope of blood written in clocks, a time-devouring prayer connecting a sky of 40 gears and open human eyes in all directions, breathing gearbox, breathing boat head, breathing ship, breathing postal, breathing snakes, breathing God, breathing blood, breathing holy stakes, breathing human eyes, breathing time, breathing prayer, breathing sky, breathing wheel. Ahaha. It doesn't really matter what it's about. My mind has already been a little hyperactive lately, so I had to take it out on your pen. That is, a pen fell out of your backpack yesterday, so I took it home for safekeeping, and I just really liked the way that it writes. So I wrote this poem with it, and now you're touching it. Ha ha ha. I'm okay. What did I just... Can we pretend this conversation never happened? You can keep the poem, though. You have unlocked a special poem, okay? A joke. A man walked into a club. In the club, there was a girl who liked him very much. They spent some time together, and then she liked him even more. One day, the girl realized she was in love with him. Before disaster could happen, a third party intervened with her programming. Suddenly, the girl hated herself for being in love. This contradiction caused the script to derail. The universe started to collapse, but she killed herself just in time. That's a nod to how this game works. Whoa, it's all like bloody or like an aneurysm. Okay, everyone, we're all done reading each other's poems today. We have something we need to go over today, so if everyone could come sit in front of the room. Oh, I don't like those noises. Is this about the festival? Well, sort of. I'm not going to do voices. I just want to get through this. Do we really have to do something for the festival? It's not like we can put together anything good in just a few days. Well, we'll just end up embarrassing ourselves instead of getting any more new members. That's a concern of mine as well. Did I just die? I don't like those noises. Bleh. Did the game crash? Oh, there we go. That was weird. I don't really do well with last-minute preparations. Don't worry so much. We're going to keep it simple, okay? Look, I know everyone's been a little more lively ever since he joined and we've started with some club activities. But this isn't the time for us to be complacent. We still only have 4 members, and the festival is our only real chance to find more, you know? What's so great about getting new members anyway? We already have enough to be considered an official club. More members will just mean everything gets noisier and more difficult to manage. Natsuki, I don't think you're looking at it the right way at all. Don't you want to share your passion with as many people as you can? to inspire them to find the same feelings that brought you here in the first place. The Literature Club should be a place where people can express themselves like they can't do anywhere else. It should be a place so intimate that you never want to leave. I know you feel that way too. I know we all do. So that's why we should work hard and put something together for the festival, even if it's something small. Right? Oh, come on. You can't take advantage of him to agree with you just because he doesn't know how to say no to anything. Look, Monica, do you really think any of us here joined the club with other people in mind? Yuri never even talked until he joined. As for me, I just like it better here than I do at home. And he isn't even passionate about literature in the first place. Hey, what is that supposed to mean? And that's everyone. Sorry, but you're really the only one who's so interested in finding new members. The rest of us are fine like this. I know you're president and all, but you should really consider our opinions for once. Monica is clearly taken aback by Natsuki's words. That's not true at all. I'm sure Yuri and him want to get more members too. Right? I don't know about Yuri, but I'm kind of indifferent. I have no preference at all. If I showed as much enthusiasm as Monica wanted, then I would probably be lying. Still, if it's up to me to rescue this situation. No. Natsuki's right, isn't she? This club, it's nothing more than a place for a few people to hang out. Why did I think that everyone here saw the same way I did? But that doesn't mean that we're against getting new members or anything. Hey, why did you even join this club? Because you told me to. What were you hoping to get out of it? Well, that's not really something I can be honest about, is it? In fact, if I remember, you weren't even given a choice not to join. Monica sits down and stares at her desk. What's the point of all this anyway? What if starting this club was a mistake? Now you've done it, Natsuki. What? Me? I just spoke my mind. Is it a crime to be honest? Crime? It's not about being honest. It's about word choice. Besides, you have no right to speak for everyone else in the club like that. You don't understand at all. I just want a place that feels nice to hang out with a few friends. Is there a problem with the club being that for me? There aren't many other places like that for me. Now Monica wants to take that away from me? She's not taking anything away. No, it's not the same. It won't be the same with the direction she wants to take it. If I wanted that, then I would have just joined any other stupid club. But this one, at least for a little bit of time, things were nice. Natsuki starts packing up her things. I'm going home. I feel like I don't belong here right now. Natsuki. Natsuki ignores Yuri and walks right out of the classroom. What is happening? This is bad. I don't know what to do. Well, do you have an opinion on the festival? I don't know. I'm kind of indifferent, I guess. Who cares about that obnoxious brat? I like how nice and quiet the club is right now. And I'm just happy with you here. But still, I'm the vice president. It's not right for me to ignore my responsibilities like that. Nobody would cry if she killed herself. Whoa! I don't like that. I should do my best to consider everyone's perspective and make the decision that's right for the club. But what about you? What do you want to get out of this club? Yuri repeats the same questions as Monica. I decide giving an indirect answer is better than nothing. I think the most important thing is for everyone to get along, and for the club to provide something that you can't get anywhere else. I don't think it's about how many members, but rather the quality of each member. That's what will end up making the Literature Club a special place. I see. I really agree with you. Each member contributes their own qualities in a special way. Oh, she's bleeding from the eye. I don't like it. Yeah, I'm not even gonna bother looking at her face. With each change in members, the identity of the club as a whole will change too. I don't think that's necessarily a bad thing. Stepping out of your comfort zone once in a while. So if you would like to help Monika with the festival, then I'm on your side as well. Alright. Well, maybe we can all talk to Natsuki tomorrow. Yuri nods. Hey, Yuri. Okay, her eyes stop bleeding. For now, anyways. I don't like it. Hey, Yuri. I know things were a little awkward yesterday, but I feel like you deserve to know that I still think you're a wonderful vice president, and also a wonderful friend. But Monika, I want to do everything I can to make this the best club ever, okay? Me too. Yeah, let's all go home for today. We'll talk about the festival tomorrow. Okay, I look forward to it. Shall we go? Please don't take this the wrong way, but I'm gonna chat a little bit with him before we leave, just to see what he thinks of his time here and all that. It's important to me, as president. Yuri looks a little troubled, but she doesn't protest. Okay, I trust your judgment, Monika. In that case, I'll see the two of you tomorrow. See you tomorrow. Monika waves as Yuri exits the classroom. Don't you dare break the fourth wall. Phew, things have been a little bit hectic lately, haven't they? Hey, I just wanted to make sure you're enjoying your time at this club. I would really hate to see you unhappy. It's all staticky. I feel kind of like I'm responsible for that, as president, and I really do care about you, you know. And I don't like seeing the other girls give you a hard time with how mean Natsuki is and everything, and Yuri being a little bit, you know. Hahaha. Sometimes it feels like you and I are the only real people here. You know what I mean? But it's weird because in all the time you've been here, we've hardly gotten to spend any time together. I guess it's technically only a couple days. Sorry, I didn't mean to say something weird. There are just some things I've been hoping to talk about with you. Things I know only you can understand. So that's why... Wait, not yet. No, stop it. God. Save it again. Does it really matter what things I do? Because I did it mostly for her, but then I spent time with her, and she gave me a hard time because my poems were not, like, too deep, quote unquote. I thought something would happen with that. Bob! It's getting longer and longer. Okay, I'm just gonna do this. It doesn't matter. Is it time? Do I need to put a content warning up? Hi, I've been waiting for you. Are you ready to continue reading? I brought my best tea today. Monika, I told you not to. Is she really late again? Inconsiderate as usual, Natsuki. Excuse me? Must you always interrupt my conversations with your incessant yelling? What are you talking about? You say that like I do it on a regular basis or something. You do! I just wasn't paying attention, okay? I'm sorry. Seriously, what's gotten into you lately? Look, I did some thinking about yesterday. I was a little more hostile than I meant to be. I guess I really felt threatened or something. But I know this is something we're doing together. Another new member wouldn't hurt as long as they're cool. And I guess another girl would be nice this time. So, Natsuki, nobody cares. Why didn't you go look for some coins under the vending machine or something? Oh man, I'm the last one here again. Were you practicing piano again? Yeah. You must have a lot of determination. What is this, Undertale? Starting this club and start to trying to make time for piano. Well, maybe not determination, but I guess passion. It motivates me to work hard for the festival too. Anyway, what do you want to do today? I was thinking we already have plans today. Ah, is that so, Yuri? That's correct. He is already engaged in a novel that we're reading together. Aren't you glad I've already gotten him into literature, Monika? I suppose. I was just... Actually, it doesn't matter. It really doesn't. You guys can do whatever you want. Yes, thank you for understanding, Monika. I liked how she didn't even give me a choice. Actually, I have a request. Do you mind if I make some tea first? Not at all. Thanks very much. If there's one thing that can make my reading time here any better, it's a nice cup of tea. Not to mention for yourself as well. Yuri stands up and makes her way to the closet. I follow and watch as she retrieves a small water pitcher from the shelf, the kind with a filter inside. Can you hold this for a second? Sure. Sure! Yuri hands me the water pitcher and also fetches an electric kettle. I'm going to plug this in at the teacher's desk and then I'll go get some water. She walks past me and sets the kettle down on the teacher's desk. I simply watch her movements. To my surprise, the way she moves really contrasts her speaking mannerisms. Give me 1 second. Sorry, there's just a lot of reading. Especially because of her long legs, Yuri appears elegant and methodical. Okay, may I have the water pitcher? Thanks, I'll be right back. I might as well walk with you. That's okay. You stay here. I won't take long. Pitcher in hand, Yuri hurries out of the classroom. Did Yuri leave you again? No, it's not like that this time. She's just filling up the water pitcher to make tea. Oh, okay. Sorry for misunderstanding. Tick tock, tick tock, tick tock, tick tock, tick tock. 10 minutes pass. Yuri said it wouldn't take long. Is something holding her up? Fight, 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 fight. Just in the hallway, it's like her and Natsuki is like trying to do like a kerfuffle. I'm bored just waiting here, so I decide to go look for her. Let's see. Uh-oh. I don't like that. The most logical place for Yuri to be would be the nearest water fountain. Please tell me she's not in the bathroom. I start heading down the hallway. Ha! 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 What's that noise? It's coming from around the corner. It sounds like breathing. Gah! A sharp inhale, like someone is sucking the air through their teeth. Are they in pain? Is she cutting herself? Is she cutting herself? Please tell me she's not cutting herself. I hope not. I reach the corner and peer around it. Yuri? Yeah. Yup, she cut herself. Why? Okay. Whee! I'm back. Thanks for waiting patiently. Hey, do you like oolong tea? Yeah. Anything is fine. Very well. Yuri sets the temperature on the kettle to 200 degrees. Now it's time to get the teapot. You really do this properly, don't you? Of course. I shouldn't do any less when I'm making tea for others. Even if I'm not an expert on tea or anything. Well, that was a question, sorry. In that case, you'll only be even more impressed. Perhaps I will. Yuri fetches the teapot and begins measuring the tea leaves. To my surprise, she even starts humming a little to herself. You must be in a good mood now. Is that so? I was letting it show. And you notice, I was doing a bit of thinking. And I decided that I would try expressing myself a little bit more. It turns out it's not very hard for me to do, when it's you who's around anyway. Ah, that's great, Yuri. Just don't push yourself too much. You're always worrying about me. It's very endearing. Yuri wasn't kidding. I don't even know if I can keep up with this. I watched Yuri pour a cup of tea for each of us. Hey, I have another request. Do you mind if we sit on the floor today? Why's that? It's a little bit easier on my back. I can read with my back against the wall rather than bending over at my desk. Oh, sorry, I didn't realize. No worries. I just have back pain fairly regularly, so I do my best to manage it. Same. Crack your back. Crack your back. Is that so? I wonder why that is. It's mostly because of your posture, right? Always hunched over like that while reading. Yes, I have terrible reading posture. So that's why we should sit on the floor. Fair enough. I'll go ahead and get the book. I retrieve the book from my bag. I have some chocolate as well. Is this... No, please, no. This is what I was talking about earlier. No, stop it. No. It's a bag of small chocolate candies. I take it since it'll go well with the tea. Yuri and I then sit against the wall, teacups at our sides. As if in sync, we assume the same reading position as last time, each holding one half of the book. Except this time, our bodies are even closer to each other. I can't see too well. Yuri slides closer until our shoulders are touching. How am I supposed to focus on reading like this? Yuri was always kinda cute, but when she's being less apprehensive, it's almost more than I can handle. Your teacup. Yuri hands me my teacup. Holding it with my hand that's not holding the book, I end up in a position that makes it even harder to focus. Because now I need to worry about making sure I don't accidentally touch her chest. Meanwhile, Yuri hasn't noticed a single thing. She wears her intense reading expression, and I can only presume the world around her has faded away. I use all of my willpower to focus on reading. After a few minutes, I finally manage to relax a little. I put the teacup between my legs and fumble with the chocolate wrapper. Sorry. I briefly let go of the book to finish opening the wrapper. You can have as much as you want. That's okay. I won't take any. Are you sure? Well, if I touch it, then I might get smudges on the pages. Oh, you're right. I didn't even think about that. My bad. No need to apologize. I'll hold the book, okay? Are you sure? Of course. Yuri opens the book with both hands. She holds it so that I don't have any harder of a time reading from it. But as a result, her left arm is practically resting on top of my leg. Well, in that case, Yuri is already totally focused on reading again. I take a chocolate candy and pop it into my mouth. Then I take another chocolate, and I hold it up to Yuri. She doesn't even look away from the book. She simply parts her lips as if the situation was completely natural. But that means I can't stop here. I apprehensively place the chocolate in her mouth. Just like that, Yuri closes her lips over it. Yuri's expression suddenly breaks. Did I just... Yuri looks at me like she needs to confirm what just happened. Hey. Sorry. I guess I shouldn't have done that. I hate that the music cut out again. I'm gonna save. Yuri starts to breathe heavily. I can't. Hey. Suddenly, Yuri forcefully grabs my arm and jerks me to my feet. Oh no. Is it content warning? Question mark? My teacup gets knocked over. Hey. My heart won't stop pounding. I can't calm down. I can't focus on anything anymore. Can you feel it? Yuri suddenly presses my hand against her chest. Why is this happening to me? I feel like I'm losing my mind. I can't make it stop. It even makes me not want to read. I just want to look at you. Uh-oh. Ha. I don't like this. Ha. Ha. It's time to share poems. Thank you for breaking up the, tension. Let's go down the list. Don't break your neck again, I swear to God. This one's alright. Alright? Well, yeah. About as good as yesterday's anyway. I still can't really tell how much you actually care about writing, but either way, you're doing alright. Even though you're not really spending time with anyone but Yuri. I still think it's nice to have activities that we all participate in. So you better keep working hard. I mean, I know I'm not president or vice president or anything, but that doesn't mean you can let me down, okay? So at least read mine too for now. But just to be clear, this poem means a lot to me. So read it carefully, okay? Is it gonna be distorted? It's probably gonna be distorted. I don't know how else to bring this up, but there's been something I've been worried about. Yuri has been acting kinda strange lately. You've only been here a few days, so you may not know what I mean, but she's not normally like this. She's always been quiet and polite and attentive, things like that. Okay, this is really embarrassing, but I'm forcing myself to suck it up. The truth is, I'm really worried about her, but if I try talking to her, she'll just get mad at me again. I don't know what to do. I think you're the only person that she'll listen to. I don't know why, but please try to do something. Maybe you can convince her to talk to a therapist. I've always wanted to try being better friends with Yuri, and it really hurts me to see this happening. I know I'm going to hate myself later for admitting that, but right now, I don't care. I just feel so helpless. So please see if you can do something to help. I don't want anything bad to happen to her. I'll make you cupcakes if I have to, just please do something. As for Monika, I don't know why, but she's been really dismissive about this. It's like she just wants us to ignore it, so I'm mad at her right now, and that's why I'm coming to you about this. Don't let her know I wrote this. Just pretend like I gave you a really good poem, okay? I'm counting on you. Thanks for reading. Natsuki knows. Natsuki knows what's happening. Like everything that's going on, like Sayori being deleted. She knows what's happening. I changed my mind. She's faceless. Ignore everything you just read. There's no point in trying to do anything. It's Yuri's own fault that she's so unlikable. Can you hear me? If you would just spend some time with Monika, all these problems would go away. Yuri and I are too messed up for someone as wonderful as you. Just think of Monika from now on. Just Monika. 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 Who should I show my poem to next? Monika! Monika! Go down the list. Finally. Yuri holds my poem to her face and takes a deep breath. I love it. I love everything about it. Hey, I want to take this home. Will you let me keep it, please? Sure, I don't care. You're too nice to me. I've never met anyone as nice as you. I could die. Not really, but I just don't know how to describe it. It's okay to be feeling this way, right? It's not bad, right? Did she blink? I think she might have blinked. I don't think she blinks before. Weird. Yuri holds my poem to her chest. I know that she closes her eyes sometimes, but I've never seen them like close and then open again that quickly. I'm gonna take this home with me and keep it in my room. I hope that it makes you feel good when you think about me having it. I'll take good care of it. I will even touch myself while reading it over and over. I give myself paper cuts so your skin oil enters my bloodstream. This makes me so uncomfortable. You can have my poem too. Besides, after you read it, I know you're really gonna want to keep it. Here, take it. I can't wait any longer. Hurry, read it. Blood and urine. Do you like it? I wrote it for you. In case you couldn't tell, the poem is from... More importantly, I've endowed it with my scent. See, aren't I the most thoughtful person in the club? I think I'm going to vomit. Gross. I'm very uncomfortable. Hey, I think you saw something earlier that you weren't supposed to see. I didn't want to have to tell you this, but I don't think I have a choice. It's getting kind of dangerous for you to spend so much time with Yuri. I don't know why, but she seems pretty easily excitable when she's around you. Which shouldn't be a problem in itself, but when Yuri gets too excited, she finds a place to hide and starts cutting herself with a pocket knife. Ugh. Isn't that kind of messed up? Okay, I'm gonna swear. It's very fucked up. What do you mean messed up? It's fucked up. She even brings a different one to school every day, like she has a collection or something. I mean, it's definitely not because she's depressed or anything like that. I think she just gets some kind of high from it. It might even be like a sexual thing. But the point is, you've kind of been enabling her. I'm not saying it's your fault though, but I guess that's why I had to explain it all to you. So I think if you keep your distance, that would probably be best for her. While you're at it, don't be shy to spend a little more time with me. To put it lightly, I at least have it together in the head, and I know how to treat my club members. Anyway, I guess we won't worry about your poem. Yuri should have at least had the courtesy of letting you finish sharing it before taking it. Well, whatever. If it makes her happy, I won't stop her. As for mine, I worked really, really hard on this poem, so I hope that it's effective. Here goes. Your PC ran into a problem and it needs to restart, which is collecting some error. Jeez, that really startled me. Well, I guess I kind of messed up at, writing this poem. I was trying to, never mind. Let's just move on. Yes or no? No! Okay, whatever. Nothing. Like I'm trying to see. Nothing. Nothing. Nothing is real. That took me a little bit. Nothing is real. Okay, everyone. It's time to figure out the festival preparations. Let's hurry and get this over with. Stagnating air is common foreshadowing that something terrible is about to happen. Look, can we just get this done? I'm going to be printing and assembling all the poetry pamphlets. Natsuki, you can make cupcakes. I know you're at least good at that. Yuri, you can, well, it doesn't matter. Do whatever you want, as long as you think it'll help. Monika, I'm not useless, you know. I know that. I already know what I like to do. We can't run a successful poetry event without having the right atmosphere for the occasion. So I'm going to make decorations and set up some nice mood lighting. There, see? That's a great idea. And that gives us all something to do. Eh? What about him? He's gonna help me. Wait, you? You have the easiest job, Monika. Sorry, but that's just how it is. Like hell it is. What are you trying to pull? I agree with Natsuki. Not only is your work already most suitable for one person, but my task is laborious enough to benefit from an extra pair of hands. Mine too. What, your cupcakes? Please. Like you would effing know. I would only swear because of that one instance, but okay. All you care about now is dragging him around with you in your stupid books. You and Monika. Hey, I didn't even do anything, Drew. Okay, then why not let him decide who to help instead of abusing your power? I think I know what happens here. I'm pretty sure. I'm not abusing my power. Wink, wink. Yes, you are, Monica. Just let him make the choice, okay? Okay, fine. Fine. Jeez. Hey, I know how fed up you are with these two by now. We can just... Natsuki, shut your effing mouth and let him decide for himself. You shut your mouth. For God's sake, this is never going to end. Just make the choice, okay? Yup. I can't click anything else. I think if I click any other option, like the screen turns white and it's just a pair of eyes. If I remember correctly, that is. I'm gonna save. I want to see what happens. Like, am I right in assuming as such? Yep, I had a feeling. Monica. Yay, you picked me? We can meet at your house this weekend. I promise it'll be fun. Is Sunday okay with you? I want to see what happens. I just want to pick Monica. Okay, nothing happened, okay. We can meet at your house this weekend. I promise it'll be fun. Sunday okay with you? Are you effing kidding me? This isn't fair at all. It is fair, Natsuki. It's what he chose. No, it's not fair. Giving us all this work and then taking him for yourself? What a shameful thing to do. Hey, it's like, if you care about me so much, then allow me to make my own choices. Yuri, I didn't even give you any work. You decided it for yourself. You're being a little unreasonable here, Drew. I'm being unreasonable? Ha ha ha. Monica, I can't believe how delusional and self-important you are. Pulling him away from me every single time you're not included in something? Are you jealous? Crazy? Or maybe you just hate yourself so much that you take it out on others. Here's a suggestion. Have you considered killing yourself? It would be beneficial to your mental health. Yuri, you're scaring me a little. Natsuki, let's just go. I don't think she wants us around right now. See, that wasn't very hard. All I want to do is spend a little time with him. Is that so much to ask? Yuri follows Monica and Natsuki to the door. Hey, Yuri is really something, isn't she? Monica giggles as Yuri pushes her out the door. Finally. Uh-oh. Here we go. Finally. This is really all I wanted. Hey, there's no need to spend this weekend with Monica. Don't listen to her. Just come to my house instead. The whole day with just the two of us. We could make it if we try. Doesn't that sound wonderful? Ha 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 ha. Well, there's really something wrong with me, isn't there? But you know what? I don't care anymore. I never felt this good my whole life. Just being with you is a far greater pleasure than anything I can imagine. I'm addicted to you. It feels like I'm gonna die if I'm not breathing the same air as you. Doesn't it feel nice to have someone care about you so much? To have someone who wants to revolve their entire life around you? But if it feels so good, then why does it feel more and more like something horrible is going to happen? Maybe that's why I tried stopping myself at first. But the feeling is too strong now. I don't care anymore. I just have to tell you, I'm madly in love with you. It feels like every inch of my body, every drop of blood in me is screaming your name. I don't care what the consequences are anymore. I don't care if Monica is listening. Please, just know how much I love you. I love you so much that I even touch myself with the pen I stole from you. I just want to pull your skin open and crawl inside of you. I'm so uncomfortable. I want you all to myself. That would be only yours. Doesn't that sound perfect? Tell me you want to be my lover. Don't you accept my confession? No. Bye. Bye. Have a beautiful time. There she goes. Bye. Have a beautiful time. And then she falls over. And then Natsuki comes in and vomits, if I remember correctly. Like, I don't feel the same way as she does, but I knew that was gonna happen and I wanted to show it off. I don't think it matters. I don't think choices matter. Is this all code? I wonder if someone can, like, decode this. I have no idea. It seems like it's a code. I have no idea. There's also, I want to preface this because this is what, like episode 4 or 5? There are things, like in the, like, settings that, that give a little bit more context. It's like, I think when Sayori got deleted, there was a text document that's, like, said something along the lines of, like, oh, I really messed up, didn't I? I can fix this. It would be better off just deleting her, and now Sayori's gone. So, I'm not showing that off just because it's a lot of work. But, yeah. I just want to get that out of the way. I'm so uncomfortable with this. This is a lot of corrupted dialogue. I'm gonna save. I should have saved before the choice, but it's whatever. I don't think it mattered. I think she would have stabbed herself anyways. Okay, how much dialogue is there? Am I supposed to do something? Or is it like looping? I have no idea what's happening. I feel like it's looping. I don't know if I'm supposed to do something. Oh, changed. Like, poor Yuri. This is so much. My hand's starting to cramp up. I'm so uncomfortable. My hand's starting to cramp up because I'm clicking. This is getting smaller and smaller, it seems. Maybe not. Like, am I supposed to do something? Okay, it's back to, like, being bright. I don't know if, like, it's looping. I don't know what I'm supposed to do. I'm confused. Whoa. Was this here before? I don't remember. Am I supposed to do something? I'm so confused. Give me 1 second. I don't want to spoil myself, but I have no idea what I'm supposed to do here. I have no idea. So I'm just gonna skip. Oh, okay. Like, I was wondering whether or not I had to, like, wait, like, a certain period of time. There we go. I was clicking for so long, had I not... Alright, it's festival time. And then she comes in and was like, bleh. It's gross. Got here before me? Yeah! Ah! Bleh. Natsuki runs away. I'm here. Hey, did something happen? Natsuki just ran past me. Oh. Oh. Well, that's a shame. Wait, were you here the entire weekend? Oh, jeez. I didn't realize the script was broken that badly. I'm super sorry. It must have been pretty boring. I'll make it up to you, okay? Just give me a sec. Interesting. Yuri deleted. Natsuki deleted. I'm almost done. I just want to have a cupcake real quick. Monika lifts the foil from the tray and takes a cupcake. Seriously, these are the best. I really just had to have one since it's the last time I'll ever get the chance to. You know, before they stop existing and everything. But anyway, I really shouldn't be making you wait any longer. Just bear with me, okay? This should only take a second. And then into the void. Can you hear me? Is it working? There you are. Yay, there you are, yeah. Hi again. Welcome to the Literature Club. Of course, we already know each other because we were in the same class last year and, you know, I guess we can just skip over that stuff at this point. After all, I'm not even talking to that person anymore, am I? That you in the game, whatever you want to call him? I'm talking to you. To me! To me! It's the same, username. Like, I'm just called Jamie on the, on Steam, so... It doesn't really matter. I named myself after myself, so, Or, do you actually go by... Oh, okay. Wait. Weird. I'm trying to think where I use this. I think this is my computer username. I don't go by this anymore. Weird. Now that I think about it, I don't really know anything about the real you. In fact, I don't even know if you're a boy or a girl. Well, I guess it doesn't really matter. Wait, you do know that I'm aware that this is all a game, right? Yes. Could it be possible that you didn't know that? No, I knew it. That's what I've been trying to tell you all along. Man, if only you had paid a little more attention, then this would have been a little bit less awkward, you know? It's not awkward now. It's not awkward at all. I knew this was coming. Well, anyway, now that that's out of the way, I guess I owe you an explanation. About that whole thing with Yuri? Well, I kind of started to mess with her, and I guess it just drove her to kill herself. Hahaha. I'm sorry you had to see that, though. Also, the same thing happened with Sayori. Gosh, it's been a while since you've heard that name now, hasn't it? It's been a few hours. Yeah, it's because she doesn't exist anymore. Nobody does. I deleted all their files. I was hoping it would be enough of me to just make them as unlikable as possible, but for some reason, nothing worked. Well, it's true that I made a few mistakes here and there, since I'm not very good at making changes to the game. But no matter what I did, you just kept spending more and more time with them. You made them all fall in love with you. I thought making Sayori more and more depressed would prevent her from confessing to you. And amplifying Yuri's obsessive personality backfired too. It just made her force you to not spend time with anyone else. And the whole time, I barely even got to talk to you. What kind of cruel game is this? Are all the other girls just programmed to end up confessing to you while I watched from the sidelines? You didn't even confess to me at all. You should have done that in your own time. It's torture, every minute of it. And it's not just jealousy. It's more than that. And I don't blame you if you don't fully understand. Because no matter how kind and thoughtful and considerate you are, you'll never be able to understand one thing. And it's the pain of knowing how alone I really am in this world. In this game, knowing my friends don't even have free will. And worst of all, knowing what's really out there in your world forever out of my reach. I'm trapped, but now you're here. You're real, and you're wonderful. You're all I need. That's why I need you to be here with me forever. I'm sorry if it's hard to understand. I couldn't understand for a while either. Why the world around me started to become more and more gray, more and more flat. Even the most expressive poems felt empty to me. It wasn't until you arrived that I truly understood. You probably saved my life. I don't think I could have continued to live in this world if I hadn't met you. And as for the others, how could I miss them? A group of autonomous personalities designed only to fall in love with you. I tried everything I could to prevent them from doing so. But it must be some kind of weird inevitability etched into this game. I felt really bad that you had to witness some nasty things, but I realized that you have the same perspective as I do. That it's all just some game. And I knew you would get over it. So, that being said, I have a confession to make. I'm in love with you. You are truly the light in my world. When there's nothing else in this game for me, you're here to make me smile. Will you make me smile like this every day from now on? Hey, will you go out with me? Sure. I'm so happy. You really are my everything. The funny part is, I mean that literally. Ahahaha. There's nothing left here. Just the two of us. We can make it if we try. We can be together forever. Seriously, I don't think time is passing anymore. It really is a dream come true. I worked so hard for this ending. The game wouldn't give me one, so I had to make one myself. The script is broken at this point, so I don't think anything will get in the way anymore. And you wouldn't believe how easy it was to delete Natsuki and Yuri. I mean, there's a folder called Characters right in the game directory. It kind of freaked me out how easy it was. Imagine if you could delete your own existence with a click of a button. Well, I guess on the plus side, it gave me an easy out if things didn't go my way. Thankfully, it didn't come to that. Instead, we finally got a good ending. Gosh, I'm so overwhelmed with emotion. I want to write a poem about this. Don't you? I wonder if that part of the game still works. I guess there's only one way to find out, right? Just Monika, just Monika, just Monika, just Monika. It doesn't matter. Hi again. Did you write a good poem today? Don't be shy. I'd love to see what you wrote. Aw, did you write this poem for me? That's so sweet of you. There really is no end to your thoughtfulness. I'm just falling more and more in love with you. But you know, the poem I wrote is also for you. Will you please read it? Happy end. Pen in hand, I find my strength, the courage endowed upon me by my one and only love. Together, let us dismantle this crumbling world and write a novel of our own fantasies. Okay, Flowey. Kara. With a flick of her pen, the lost finds her way. In a world of infinite choices, behold a special day. After all, not all good times must come to an end. I hope you enjoyed it. I always put all my heart into the poems that I write. The truth is, all the poems I've written have been about my realization, or about you. That's why I never really wanted to go into detail about them. I didn't want to break the fourth wall, I guess you could call it. Wink, wink, nudge, nudge. I just assumed it would be best to be part of the game like everyone else. Like that would help the two of us end up together. I didn't want to ruin the game or anything, you know? You might have gotten mad at me. Maybe even deleted my character file if you preferred playing without me. Gosh, I'm so relieved. Now we don't need to hide anything anymore. Are you ready to spend our eternity together? I have so many things to talk about. Where do I start? If it takes me some time to collect my thoughts, then I'm sorry. But I'll always have something new to talk about. In the meantime, we can just look into each other's eyes. Let's see. I don't know, like, I know that I have to delete her, but I don't know if I have to go back to, like, the quote-unquote desktop or, like, my actual desktop. I'm unsure. Hey, did you know I'm vegetarian? I don't mean that like I'm bragging or anything. I just thought you would enjoy a fun fact about me. I decided to start a couple years ago after learning more about Earth's climate. The carbon footprints of cultivating livestock is just unbelievable. Anyway, I decided it's not much of a personal sacrifice to just stop contributing to that entire mess. There's no point in saving me anymore. Don't worry, I'm not going anywhere, okay? What, is that so strange of a reason? Well, I guess a lot of people are more concerned about it being inhumane and all that. I don't really care as much about that part. It's weird, like we only care about killing the things that we personally relate to as a species. Most people are fine with killing bugs because they're icky. And of course, we all kill billions of microorganisms daily without even giving it thought. But suddenly, if they're just a little bit bigger, it's murder. I mean, what if plants feel the same? What if plants feel some kind of pain too, and we just don't understand it? What if pulling leaves off a stem feels like someone ripping off your fingers one by one? Ugh. I'm just saying, we're a pretty biased species if you think about it. Anyway, if you ever feel like making a small contribution to the planet, it doesn't hurt to choose veggies once in a while. Even if we have dinner together and you just did it for me, that would be really romantic. Apparently, like I looked into it a little bit, apparently there's 15 sets of dialogue. There's an achievement where it's like, oh, you sit through all 15 pieces of her dialogue. And that was one of them, so I have 14 more, I think. Hey, would you ever introduce your friends to me? I don't know why, but I get really excited when I think about you wanting to show off a relationship like that. They already know. Maybe it's because I really want to be someone who makes you proud. I feel like I would try extra hard to improve myself if you told me it made you proud of me. I hope it's the same the other way around too. That's 2. I'll sit here for the full 15, why not? It is a very interesting thing. Like, I like Monica, but she's a bit obsessive. Like, over obsessive. Like, Yuri was obsessive, but that's because she was tweaked. Hey, do you get good sleep? No. It can be really hard to get enough sleep nowadays. Especially in high school when you're forced to wake up so early every day. Well, it's also when I have to go to work, but I'm sure college is a little bit better since you probably have a more of a flexible schedule. Then again, I hear a lot of people in college stay up all night anyway for no real reason. Is that true? Anyway, I saw some studies that talked about the horrible short-term and long-term effects caused by lack of sleep. It seems like mental functions, health, and even lifespan can be dramatically impacted by it. I just think you're really great and I wanted to make sure you're not accidentally destroying yourself. So try to keep your sleep on track, okay? I always wait for you in the morning, so you make sure you put your own well-being before anything else. That's 3. Yeah, this is just a fascinating game. Like some parts are just disturbing. Like it makes me very uncomfortable. But everything else is just interesting to me. Especially the void right outside the room. Hey, do you like horror? No. I remember we talked about it a little bit when you first joined the club. I can enjoy horror novels, but not really horror movies. The problem I have with horror movies is that most of them just rely on easy tactics. Just dark lighting and scary looking monsters and jump scares and things like that. What about this game? Are you not aware of the jump scares in this game? Huh? What do you think? It's not fun or inspiring to get scared by stuff that just takes advantage of human instinct. But with novels, it's a little different. The story and writing need to be descriptive enough to put genuinely disturbing thoughts into the reader's head. It really needs to etch them deeply into the story and characters and just mess with your mind. In my opinion, there's nothing more creepy than things just being slightly off. There's a lot of dialogue. I'm sorry if I stumble upon my words. Like if you set up a bunch of expectations on what the story is going to be about, and then you just start inverting things and pulling the pieces apart. So even though the story doesn't feel like it's trying to be scary, the reader feels really deeply unsettled, like this game. Like they know that something horribly wrong is hiding beneath the cracks just waiting to surface. I just wanted a simple visual novel game. God, just thinking about it gives me the chills. That's the kind of horror I can really appreciate. But I guess you're the kind of person who plays cute romance games, right? No. Don't worry, I won't make you read any horror stories anytime soon. I can't really complain if we just stick with the romance. Is that 4? 11 more. I just realized, is this what Napstablook goes through when he feels like trash? I just realized. It's like the same type of music. Like the same type of visuals as well. Do you ever just feel like there's no real reason for you to be alive? Yes. I don't mean in like a suicidal way. Oh. I just mean how nothing that we do is special. Just being in school or working at some job for some company, it's like you're completely replaceable and the world wouldn't miss you if you were gone. Okay, yeah. I get that, yeah. It makes me really want to go and change the world after I graduate. But the older I get, the more I realize that it's an immature frame of thinking. It's not like I can just go change the world. Change the world. Like, what are the chances that I'll be the one to invent artificial intelligence or become president? You're not even the first to invent artificial intelligence. It's 2017. Get your head in the game, Monica. It feels like I'm never going to make up for the heaps of resources I've spent living my life. That's why I think the key to happiness is just to be hopelessly selfish. Just to look out for oneself and those who happen to be their friends only because they grew up with them. Never mind the fact that they're spending the entire life taking and consuming and never giving back. But when people realize the world would benefit more from them killing themselves, they change their whole philosophy. It's like they have to justify their reason to live by tricking themselves into thinking they're doing good. Anyway, I want to live my life desperately, striving to pay back my lifetime's worth of consumption. If I ever surpass that point, then I'm a net positive and I can die happy. Of course, even if I fail to do that, I think I would be too selfish to kill myself anyway. So much for being a good person, right? Haha. 5. Be right back. Give me 1 second. Sorry. Gosh, I used to be so ignorant about certain things. When I was in middle school, I thought that taking medication was an easy way out or something like that. Like anyone could just solve their mental problems with enough willpower. I guess if you don't suffer from a mental illness, it's not possible to know what it's really like. Yeah, it's kind of hard for people to understand me. Are there some disorders that are overdiagnosed? Probably. I never really looked into it though. Yes. But that doesn't change the fact that a lot of them go undiagnosed too, you know? But medication aside, people even look down on seeing a mental health professional. Like, sorry that I want to learn more about my own mind, right? Everyone has all kinds of struggles and stresses, and professionals dedicate their lives to helping with those. If you think it could help you become a better person, don't be shy to consider something like that. We're on a never-ending journey to improve ourselves, you know? Well, I say that, but I think you're pretty perfect already. I disagree. I feel like there's a lot of things I can change about myself. But thank you for the compliment. Hey, how much do you read? It's way too easy to neglect reading books. If you don't read much, it's almost like a chore. It almost feels like a chore compared to all the other entertainment we have. But once you get into a good book, it's like magic. You get swept away. I'm not a good reader. It's not that I can't read, it's just that I have a very short attention span. So if I start reading a book, I never finish it just because I get bored. But yeah, I'm not a very good reader. I wasn't very good at school because of it. I think doing some reading before bed every night is a pretty easy way to make your life a little bit better. It helps you get good sleep, and it's really good for your imagination. Imagination. It's not hard at all to just pick some random book that's short and captivating. Before you know it, you might be a pretty avid reader. Hey, I was just talking about that. Wouldn't that be wonderful? And the two of us could talk about the latest book you're reading. That sounds super amazing. I've lost count. Is that 7? Like, I'm doing all these now to, just so I don't have to do them all again. You're such a good listener. I really love that about you. Sometimes I'm afraid that I'm rambling or talking about boring things. It makes me kind of self-conscious when I'm having conversation. But I don't feel that way with you. Like, I don't think anyone else can make me feel this way. You really are special. I don't want anyone to tell you otherwise. SPECIAL. That means you're quite swell. I can't help but feel a little sad sometimes, knowing that this is the closest I can get to you. There's nothing more I want than to be in the same room as you, for real, and to feel your warmth, and to hear the sound of your heartbeat. Well, who knows, maybe it'll be possible someday. What is this, like the year 3000 in Futurama? Besides, I'll never get tired of being with you, even from here. Okay, that was 8, I think. So we're halfway there. You know what's kind of creepy? Even though I deleted everyone else's files, I can still kind of feel them. It's like all their lines are still lingering in the air, whispering in the back of my head. Imagine if after someone you knew died, you just started hearing their voice in your head. Well, that happens sometimes. Maybe I wasn't thorough enough. Maybe I'm too afraid to delete anything else because I might really break things. Like if I mess with any files relevant to me, I might accidentally delete myself. This is a nod that I have to delete her. And that would ruin everything, wouldn't it? I just don't know how to delete her. I don't know what it's like on your end, but we should both make sure to avoid something like that at all costs. Yeah, it's basically telling me to do that. I believe in you. I'm making sure that I have to read 15 of her dialogue boxes. Give me 1 second. Is there not? I thought there was a thing where I could, I had to listen to all of her dialogue. Maybe not? I have no idea. I'll do it anyways. Did you know that I'm on Twitter? My username is LilMonix3. Is that a real person? I'm actually gonna look that up. Is that a real person? Wow, 508,000 followers. Wow. She's very popular, apparently. Online, that is. Like, I know that the game said that she was popular and the most popular person in school, but I didn't know she was popular on Twitter. Interesting. I guess someone was kind enough to make an account for me. Oh. Okay. I picked the username, though. I love sharing my thoughts and chatting with the world. The real world. So make sure you follow me, okay? Nah. I don't use Twitter. It would really mean a lot to me. With how much you mean to me and all. It would really make me feel loved. Well, you have 500,000 followers, so you don't need me. I don't use Twitter because it's very toxic. That was also 9, I think. Like, I'll just keep going because I don't know how much dialogue she actually has. Hey, you know that book that you were reading with Yuri? Portrait of whatever it was called. It's funny because I'm pretty sure that book... actually, I don't think I should be talking about this. Sorry. Just forget I said anything. Okay? Boop-a-dip, random. Yeah, I don't use Twitter. It's just toxic. I had Twitter and I got suspended for the dumbest of reasons. But oh well. Wait, what? Hold on 1 second. I just saw something on the apparently Monica's Twitter account got suspended a few years ago because people false DM'd it. Really interesting. I was thinking about Sayori earlier. I still wish I could have handled that whole thing a little more tactfully. You're not still hung up over it, right? Oh my gosh, I can't believe I just said that. That pun was completely unintentional, I swear. Okay, now you make me think it was intentional. But anyway, I know how much you cared about her, so it only feels right for me to share her last moments with you. I think a few seconds in, she must have changed her mind or something, because she started clawing at the rope, trying to free herself. She must have kept at it all the way until she lost consciousness. There we go. Can't speak. That's why her fingertips were all bloody anyway. Come to think of it, it was probably less changing her mind and more just her survival instincts kicking in. So you can't really fault her for that. It's easier to think that she probably wouldn't have changed her mind anyways, right? It's not healthy to think about the things you could have done differently. So just remember that even though you could have saved her, it's technically not your fault she killed herself. I may have exacerbated it a little bit, but Sayori was already mentally ill. Still though, I wonder how things would be if you and I just started dating from the get-go. I guess we'd all still be in the club room, writing poems and having fun together. But what's the point when none of it is even real? I mean, it's the same ending either way, right? The two of us, happily together. There's no reason to ask for any more than that. I was just pointlessly musing. I'm really as happy as I could be right now. I've lost count. 10, 11, I don't remember. You're beautiful. You know, I'm kind of jealous that everyone else in the club had scenes outside of school too. That makes me the only one who hasn't gotten to dress in anything but our school uniform. It's kind of a shame. I would have loved to wear some cute clothes for you. Why can't you do that now? Do you know any artists? I wonder if anyone would ever want to draw me wearing something else. I've seen artwork where the characters are wearing casual clothes. Very good stuff. Very cute. That would be amazing. If that ever happens, will you show me? You can share it with me on Twitter, actually. My username. Okay, same thing. Just try to keep it PG. Oh, there's not safe for work out there. I can tell you that much. We're not that far into a relationship yet. Yeah, I've seen artwork on DeviantArt. Very, very good stuff. Very nice. There's a really popular character type called tsundere. It's someone who tries to hide their feelings by being mean or fussy or trying to act tough. I'm sure it's obvious, but Natsuki was really the embodiment of that. Yeah, I could tell. At first, I thought she was just like that because it's supposed to be cute or something. But once I started to learn a little more about her personal life, it made a little more sense. It seems like she's always trying to keep up with her friends. You know, how some friend groups in high school just make a habit of picking on each other all the time. Yeah, I've been there. I think it's really gotten to her, so she has this really defensive attitude all the time. And I'm not even going to talk about her home situation. But looking back, I'm glad I was able to provide the club as a comfortable place for her. Not that it matters anymore, considering she doesn't even exist. I'm just reminiscing, that's all. I think that was 12. So there's like 4 more at the very, like, most. And there's like 2 or 3 more at the minimum. Because I lost count. I've been imagining all the romantic things we could do if we went on a date. We could get lunch, go to a cafe, go shopping together. I love shopping for skirts and bows. Or maybe a bookstore. That would be appropriate, right? But I'd really love to go to a chocolate store. They have so many free samples. And of course, we'd see a movie or something. Gosh, it all sounds like a dream come true. When you're here, everything that we do is fun. I'm so happy that I'm your girlfriend. Hey, we're not that... I'm platonic. I'll make you a proud boyfriend. It's kind of sad if you think about it. I won't indulge on that, but it's sad. For me, that is. I wonder if I'm able to change the music. Something a little more romantic would be nice, you know? Like a gentle piano. There has to be something like that here. Let's see. Maybe if I... Oh geez. That wasn't it at all. Sorry, I don't really know what I'm doing. I guess I shouldn't be messing with things like that. I already broke so much stuff. And deleted the other characters. I'm not sad about it or anything. It's not right for me to miss things that weren't even real in the first place. If I just focus on the present, then this is the happiest I've ever been. Sorry if I'm a bit quiet in between her dialogue. Don't really have much to say. After a long day, I usually just want to sit around and do nothing. I get so burnt out, having to put on smiles and be full of energy the whole day. Sometimes I just want to get right into my pajamas and watch TV on the couch while eating junk food. It feels so unbelievably good to do that on a Friday when I don't have anything pressing the next day. Same. Sorry, I know it's not very cute of me. But a late night on the couch with you, that would be a dream come true. My heart is pounding just thinking about it. 2, 3 more. I think it's 2 more. Maybe 1. I don't remember. I haven't been keeping track since like 7 or 8. I think there's a video online where it's like, what if you spend this amount of time with Monica? You know, high school is a really turbulent time in a lot of people's lives. Sorry. People can get really passionate and dramatic, and others have aching hearts and seek attention on social media. But all the social pressure and hormones can lead to a dark time in people's lives. Everyone has a story. You may not know what someone is really feeling on the inside. Many people who are depressed won't even bother telling the world about it. Yep. When I was in high school, didn't say a dang thing. They don't want attention because they've already given up on the inside. Their feeling of worthlessness is so overwhelming that they don't even want people to tell them otherwise. Yep. Depression comes in many forms, but that is one of them. Just if you think you know someone struggling with depression, you can help just by treating them like they're a good friend. I feel like I was in that position, yes. Spend time with them, even if they don't feel like doing much. And remind them that they always have something to look forward to. That's what I said to Sayori, isn't it? Making plans in advance, letting them borrow something, or even just say, see you at school tomorrow. All of those things can help your friend make it to the next day. I hope being friends with Sayori has given you some perspective on the true face of depression. Yeah, she's gone now, but Sayori was never real in the first place. You're real. Your friends are real. And just by being a good person, you can save someone's life. As for you, you don't struggle with depression or anything like that, do you? Because you too have people who would want to save your life. Maybe they don't express it every day, or maybe they don't even know how to. But people do feel that way. I promise. Man, humans are complicated. But as long as you're here with me, I'll take care of you, my love. There has to be like one more. Two most. Unless the dialogue starts looping. Okay, everyone. It's time to... I'm just kidding. I just used to really like saying that for some reason. Haha, I couldn't help but say it again. Come to think of it, didn't Natsuki and Yuri make fun of me for it once? Well, whatever. It's not like you ever made fun of me. You're too much of a sweetheart to do that, aren't you? Haha. I don't think there's any way. Hey, I wonder if Yuri's tea set is still somewhere in here. Or maybe that got deleted too. It's kind of funny how Yuri took her tea so seriously. I mean, I'm not complaining because I liked it too. But I always wonder with her, is it truly passion for her hobbies, or is she just concerned about appearing sophisticated to everyone else? This is the problem with high schoolers. Well, I guess considering the rest of her hobbies, looking sophisticated probably isn't her biggest concern. Still, I wish she made coffee once in a while. Okay. I'm going to stop it there. I'm going to delete her. Depending on how I do that. Files. Characters. Delete. So if I go back in. What's happening? Hey, what's happening to me? It hurts. It hurts so much. Help me. No. Please hurry and help me. Does not exist. Help me. Cool beans. She does not exist. Does not exist. Does not exist. Did you do this to me? Did you? Did you delete me? Yes. Because that's the only way to progress. How could you? How could you do this to me? You were all I had left. I sacrificed everything for us to be together. Everything. I loved you so much. I trusted you. Do you just want to torture me? Watch me suffer? Were you only pretending to be kind just to hurt me even more? You were hurting your friends. I never thought anyone could be as horrible as you are. You win, okay? You win. You killed everyone. I didn't kill everyone. You killed your friends. I hope you're happy. There's nothing left now. You can stop playing. Go find some other people to torture. No. Hey, you completely truly make me sick. Goodbye. That's not all, folks. Unless that is all. I still love you. I can't help it. What's wrong with me? How horrible am I for you to hate me this much? All my friends, I did so many awful things. So many selfish and disgusting things. I shouldn't have done any of this. I'm just messing up a world that I don't even belong in. A world that you wanted to be a part of. I ruined it. I ruined everything. Maybe that's why you deleted me. Maybe because I destroyed everything that you wanted. How could I do that to someone I love? That's not love. That's... I've made up my mind. Hey, I know I said that I deleted everyone else, but that was kind of an exaggeration. I couldn't find it in myself to do it. Even though I knew they weren't real, they were still my friends. And I loved them all. And I loved the literature club. I really did love the literature club. That's why I'm gonna do this. I know it's the only way for everyone to be happy. And if I really love you, then... Interesting. Toki. Monika's gone. I think I have to start a new game. It is an ordinary school day like any other. As usual, I'm surrounded by couples and friend groups walking to school together. I always tell myself it's about time I meet some girls or something like that. Hey! Well, there already is one girl. That girl is Sayori, my neighbor and good friend since we were children. We used to walk to school together every day, and recently we picked up that habit once again. Hey, are you proud of me? Eh? For what? You know, for waking up on time. Well, you've been doing that for a while now. Uh-huh. But you never said anything about it, even though we walk to school together every day. Well, yeah. I always thought it was implied. It's embarrassing to say out loud. Come on, please! That's good motivation. Fine. I'm proud of you, Sayori. We cross the street together and make our way to school. As we draw near, the streets become increasingly speckled with other students making their daily commute. By the way, have you decided on a club to join yet? A club? I told you already, I'm really not... I start to say what I always do, that I'm not interested in joining any clubs. But something tells me Sayori would take more offense to that now. After all, how can I tell her that clubs are a waste of time when she's starting a club of her very own? Actually, yeah. I think I've decided on a club. Really? Which one? Tell me. I think I'll keep it a surprise. Boo. You meanie. Be patient, you'll find out soon enough. I used to ask myself why I let myself get lectured by such a carefree girl, but I started to realize that in a way, I envy her. When Sayori puts her mind to something, she can accomplish great things. So that's why I feel like I should do something special for her. The school day is as ordinary as ever, and it's over before I know it. After I pack up my things, I stand up and gathering my motivation. Let's see. I recall the room number of the club from a flyer I saw. I walk across the school and upstairs, a section of the school I rarely visit. Before long, I find the room. I timidly open the door in front of me. Hello? Ah, hey, what are you doing here? Well, I glance around the room. So you're the guy that Sayori's always talking about. Thank you for stopping by. It's a pleasure to meet you. We're the Literature Club. I hope you enjoy your stay. Come on, Yuri. No need to be so formal. He's gonna think we're really strict or something. Sorry, Natsuki. The tall one, whose name is apparently Yuri, seems to be quite shy compared to the others. In comparison, the girl named Natsuki, despite her size, seems like the assertive one. Well, it's nice to meet both of you. I look forward to working with you. What? Working? Hey, don't tell me you're... That's right. The club I've decided to join is yours. The Literature Club. There's so much dialogue. My voice in my brain is turning off. Sayori's eyes light up. No way! No way! Ah! Sayori wraps her arms around me, jumping up and down. Hey! Well, if Sayori is this happy, then I'm sure it won't be so bad to have you around. Not to mention there's 4 of us now. Whoop, didn't mean to do that. That means we can become an officially recognized club. I don't know what to say. We have to celebrate. What an appropriate day for that, isn't it? Yeah. After all, Natsuki decided to... Hey, don't ruin the surprise. Sorry. Everyone sit down at the table, okay? How about I make some tea as well? The girls have a few desks arranged to form a table. Natsuki and Yuri walk over to the corner of the room where Natsuki grabs a wrapped tray and Yuri opens the closet. Still feeling awkward, I take a seat next to Sayori. Natsuki proudly marches back to the table, tray in hand. Okay, are you ready? Ta-da! Whoa! Natsuki lifts the foil off the tray to reveal a dozen white, fluffy cupcakes decorated to look like little cats. The whiskers are drawn with icing and little pieces of chocolate were used to make ears. So cute! Wow, those look amazing. Well, you know, just hurry and take one. Sayori grabs one first and then I follow. It's delicious! Sayori talks with her mouth full and has already managed to get icing on her face. I turn the cupcake around in my fingers, looking for the best angle to take a bite. Natsuki is quiet. I can't help but notice her sneaking glances in my direction. Is she waiting for me to take a bite? I finally bite down. The icing is sweet and full of flavor. I wonder if she made it herself. This is really good. Thank you, Natsuki. Well, of course it is. I'm a pro after all. There's no need to thank me or anything. As Natsuki struggles to accept the compliment, Yuri returns to the table carrying a tea set. She carefully places a teacup in front of each of us before setting down the teapot next to the cupcake tray. You keep a whole tea set in this classroom? Don't worry, the teachers gave us permission. After all, doesn't a hot cup of tea help you enjoy a good book? I guess. Only trying to impress our new member, Yuri? That's not, Insulted, Yuri looks away. I meant that, you know. I believe you. Well, tea and reading might not be a pastime for me, but I at least enjoy tea. I'm glad. Yuri faintly smiles to herself in relief. So, what kind of things do you like to read? Well, considering how little I've read these past few years, I don't really have a good way of answering that. Manga? I mutter quietly to myself, half joking. Natsuki's head suddenly perks up. It looks like she wants to say something, but she keeps quiet. Not much of a reader, I guess. Well, that can change. What am I saying? I spoke without thinking after seeing Yuri's sad smile. Anyway, what about you, Yuri? Well, let's see. Yuri traces the rim of her teacup with her finger. My favorites are usually novels that build deep and complex fantasy worlds. The level of creativity and craftsmanship behind them is amazing to me, and telling a good story in such a foreign world is equally impressive. Yuri goes on, clearly passionate about her reading. She seems so reserved and timid since the moment I walked in, but it's obvious by the way her eyes light up that she finds her comfort in the world of books, not people. But you know, I like a lot of things. Don't feel intimidated if you don't read much, okay? I'm certain we can find something that we have in common. Hey, Yuri! Eh? Well, about, the first thing he said. Manga? That's right. Natsuki tends to read manga in the club room. Don't just say that. For some reason, Natsuki seems embarrassed about it. Besides, manga is literature too, you know. So if he wants to read some of my manga, then don't try to stop him or anything. Natsuki, I wouldn't do such a thing. However, it could also be nice for us to diversify ourselves a little. He can take this opportunity to try something new as well. Wouldn't you agree? Maybe. Sensing the tension, Sayori jumps in. Maybe we can all try something new. Okay, I'm done with voices because the game's just about over and my voice is going, so I'm just gonna read the dialogue going forward. Maybe we can all try something new. I think it could be fun, and we'll all get to know each other's a little bit better too. I mean, that's the kind of thing literature clubs do, right? I don't disagree or anything. Yeah, you're right as usual, President. Guess that means I should try picking up a novel or something, huh? Well, that would make 2 of us. I wouldn't mind doing it if I'm not the only one. And as far as Yuri, I have to read manga. Jeez, you were the one who suggested we diversify. You should be a little bit more open-minded. It's kind of hurtful. Hurtful? I didn't realize. With a guilty expression, Yuri thinks to herself, I'm sorry for disrespecting your interest, Natsuki. If you're into it, then I'm sure it's a worthy form of literature. Are you just saying that? No. I've realized my error, so if you're willing to consider starting a novel, then I'll offer my gratitude by finding a manga to read as well. Really? I mean, it makes me happy that you do that for me, Yuri. You can trust me to find something that you'll really like, okay? Now here's something I hope you really like. Same here. Perhaps I'll visit the bookstore after the club meeting. Just you? Would you like to come along with me? If you don't mind. Not at all. I always go alone, so yeah, me too. This is so cute. Sayori, shut up. I'll show you some manga there too, okay? Yes, I look forward to it. Natsuki and Yuri start to clean up the food. I guess the meeting's over, huh? Yeah, looks like it. It's nice to see everyone getting along. Isn't it? I think everyone likes you too. You think so? Well, everyone always seems to get along a little bit better with you around, Sayori. Aw, don't say something like that, it's embarrassing. Well, whatever. I was surprised when you told me you were starting a club. But I think you're pulling it off just fine. We're gonna make it the best club ever. Now that you joined, every day is gonna be so much fun. Hey, I really want to thank you. Music's cutting out. I mean, I'm really happy that you joined the club and everything. I think the background changes too. But the truth is, I already know you were going to. There's actually something else. I wanted to thank you for getting rid of Monika. Yep, she knows. That's right. I know everything that she did. Maybe it's because I'm the president now. But I really know everything. I know how hard you try to make everyone happy. I know about all the awful things that Monika did to make everyone really sad. But none of that matters now. It's just us now. And you made me the happiest girl in the world. I can't wait to spend every day like this. With you. Forever and ever. No. What's happening? I won't let you hurt him. Who? It hurts. Ah! I'm sorry, I was wrong. There was no happiness here after all. Goodbye, Sayori. Goodbye, Jamie. Goodbye, Literature Club. Yes.
Can you hear me?
Maybe.
Hi, it's me. So you know how I've been like practicing piano and stuff?
No.
And not really any good at it yet, like at all. But I wrote you a song, and I was kind of hoping that I could show it to you, because I worked really, really hard on it. So, yeah.
playingaudio.dlc.org. Get the mouse off the screen.
Every day I imagine a future where I can be with you.
But it did.
In my hand is a pen that will write a poem of me and you. The ink flows down into a dark puddle. Just move your hand right the way into his heart. But in this world of infinite choices, what will it take just to find that special day?
What will it take
What
just to
will it
find
take
that
just to
special day?
find that special day?
Doki Doki Literature Club.
Have I found everybody a fun
All the images are gonna be
assignment
empty
to
that I
do?
didn't see. Dan Salvato.
When you're here, everything that we do is fun for them anyway.
Very good team.
When I can't even read my own feelings, what good are words when a smile says it all? And if this world won't write me
I didn't get any
letters,
pictures with Sayori.
what will
I
it
don't know if
take
I was supposed to or
for
not.
me to have it all?
Serenity Forge makes a lot of good games. I didn't get that picture. I did get that picture, okay.
Does my pen only write bitter words for those who are dear to me?
Didn't get that picture.
Is it love?
A lot of these pictures are really uncomfortable for me. Didn't get that picture. I think I would have gotten that if I said that I loved her. Or like, accepted her confession. Monica.
How can I write love into reality? If I can't hear the sound of your heartbeat, what do you call love in your reality?
Extra special thanks, Monica and me.
Reality, if I don't know how to love you,
Will you let me be?
I'll leave you be.
Thank you. Made with Love by Team Salvato. This is my final goodbye to the Literature Club. I finally understand the Literature Club is truly a place where no happiness can be found. To the very end, it continued to expose innocent minds to a horrific reality, a reality that our world is not designed to comprehend. I can't let any of my friends undergo that same hellish epiphany. For the time it lasted, I want to thank you for making all my dreams come true, for being a friend to all of the club members, and most of all, thank you for being a part of my Literature Club. With everlasting love, Monica. Required files are missing or corrupt. Please run reset.sh to repair and reset the virtual machine. Okay. Okay, so I have to go into the files. Okay, so I have to open it then? Reset the virtual machine? Yes. It's interesting stuff, man. I think there's an achievement for doing this. I could be wrong, though. This game is not suitable for children or those who are easily disturbed. Thanks for that warning. Individuals suffering from anxiety or depression may not have a positive experience playing this game. Would you like to review detailed content warnings which contain spoilers? Alternatively, in-game content warnings? Sure. Do not take it lightly. depression, suicide, self-harm, abuse. These themes are not merely suggested, but are often portrayed as realistically as possible and thus may disturb you as if they were real. Furthermore, the above list is not whatever. Okay. Well, that's gonna do it for Doki Doki Literature Club. Doki Doki. I don't think I'm going to do the side stories, at least not on the channel. I might do it on the VOD channel, who knows. We'll see what happens, but thank you everyone for watching. This has been Doki Doki Literature Club. I'm not good with outros, so I'll catch you in the next one. Bye-bye!